Happy Friday, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Massachusetts Latino News Opinion Plus, a weekly series airing every Friday. This is a space for our opinions, where we talk about current events and questions the Latino community is curious about. Today, we are joined by Carolina de Jesus, the Chief Executive Officer for Boston Higher Education Resource Center. Welcome, Carolina. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, let's just get right into it. As you know, Boston is an academic hub for the world. Could you walk me through some of the ways that your organization helps equip youth with resources to get access to that education?
Certainly. So I am as you said, the CEO for Boston HERC, and I've actually been recently promoted. I was the program director for the last 10 years. And the program really focuses on helping first generation to college students to gain access to higher education, break the cycle of poverty, and become agents of change in the community. And the way that we do that is through really awesome program coaches that we recruit who are also first generation themselves. And they are placed inside of Boston Public High Schools with a college and career curriculum where they just bring to life all of these different types of workshops around navigating the college application process of financial aid, visiting college campuses, and really just having someone there that can be our students' role model and really coach them. If you think of like a sports coach, they are that kind of coach to our students as they are applying and doing all of these things together. Our program coaches become that mentor, friend, role model, everything to our students.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And how long has this program been around?
So the organization was founded in 1999, and the Passport to College program has been launched since 2004. And so, since that long, the program and the organization has grown and evolved so much. Hence, I've been here 10 years, so I've seen the growth and the change that has taken place. But yeah, that's how long we've been around in the city. And we are located in the South End, right around Boston Medical Center.
Oh, wonderful. So, yeah, we were talking about the program that you're mentioning is specifically the Passport program, right?
Correct.
Um, and it's a really innovative way to empower students on their journey into higher education. But I was wondering if we could delve a little bit more into that. When and how did it all come about, and where do you see it heading in a few years?
That's a great question. I just recently talked to the team about vision for this place, right? And we were talking about what has happened here at Boston Herc these last 20 plus years and where we believe we will go and the things that will take place. And so when back in 1999, when this program was thought about, we were really trying to help and support the families, the immigrant families. The majority of them were from Central, South America. And we were, sorry, something just fell.
That's okay.
um, Sorry, so I'll go again. So, yes,
Mm.
back in 1999, we had all these families that were coming over to us and asking them, hey, how can we get help to help our son and our daughter to go to college? You know, how do they pay for college? And they really wanted to help their kids. They just didn't know how because they didn't go to college themselves here. So when the program was receiving all of these questions and walkings, really, then we thought, okay, we should provide a more structured program where we can really walk our students through this process, but also at the same time educate our families in about the whole process so that they can also be a support at home for their kids once they leave our program. And that's how we began to do this work. And what we hope to do as we continue to grow and develop the program is that we want to continue to support, and we actually do that right now, is that we follow our students through college. So whatever post-secondary plans and programs that they are doing after high school graduation. We have an alumni success director and her team who are now supporting them through college to make sure that they are utilizing their resources in college, that they are just navigating really the challenges and obstacles that come into play when they are on their own in college. And so our goal is that we continue to grow, just be in more high schools. Right now, we are currently in 10 high schools, and our hope is that we continue to go into all of the Boston public high schools here in Boston and beyond. So it's going to take some time. It's going to take funds and resources and people, but we hope that that's what's going to happen, and then also continue to provide support to our students once they graduate college. So we want to be able to assist them with internships, with finding jobs, careers within their careers that they are studying, so that they do not find themselves stuck or think that now that they've made it, that they have no way of finding a good paying job, right? Which is also something that we realize many of our students face as well. So we just want to become that support system, continue to be that support system in our students' lives, so that so that they don't give up, so that they don't quit, and so that they don't just fall under those statistics, right? That they say that first generation or Black and Latino students tend to quit or just give up after a few obstacles. We want to prevent that as much as possible.
Totally. And that's really great. And, as a first generation grad yourself, what do you think is some of the main obstacles that first generation students face in Massachusetts?
Well, I know one of the top things that we've seen in the program has been unfortunately around financial aid. So this has been an area that, as much as we try to provide information, training, really advocacy for our students as well with our college institutions, we tell them that our students need to receive the most support as possible when it comes to paying for their education, because their families are usually low income or very low income. So parents are not able, unfortunately, to help their child or student pay for school. So we find that if our student is not, for example, like a straight A student, or, unless that they are just really flourishing in their academics and in every area of their student life, they won't necessarily get, a full scholarship to a college institution, or get a full ride like some of our students do receive. So we're very grateful for that. But we know that that's not the majority of our students. So we really try to help just seek resources. Our program coaches help our students write appeal letters when they get their financial aid package, so that they can receive more funding or more financial aid to pay for their school. We also just like to help our students find the many different, there's thousands and thousands of scholarships out there. And it is very, very tedious work sometimes to research and to have to write the essays, but our coaches do a really great job in motivating them and telling them, look, the more scholarships that you apply to, the higher the chances that you will get one or two or maybe three scholarships of all of these that you've applied. But we notice that that's the biggest challenge. And then there's other challenges that, of course, first generation students face, such as, when you grew up in a Latino family, that usually you have siblings. If you're the older, you're probably helping out at home with taking care of your brothers and sisters, or you're even having to get a job, a part-time job, because you need to help mom and dad pay for some of the bills at home. There's also sometimes just the fact that our students are not able to live on their college campus, so they have to commute. And when they have to commute and they have to live at home, sometimes that doesn't provide to them the necessary just space, learning space and focus and quietness, and just really the support that they need around them in order for them to finish their college degree on time. And so those are some of the things that we help them navigate as they are attending college, and so just so that they don't drop out, before they finish their degree and that sort of thing. So those are the top main ones that I can share with you.
Yeah, totally. And we were talking about financial aid and all of that, and delving into just a bit of like national topics or
Mhm.
politics that are going on right now. The Biden administration implemented a plan to curb student debt earlier this summer, but now it's October and applications are open. How do you think that the federal debt relief program can help students? And do you think, that there are any shortcomings that it provides?
Well, I think that I've been kind of listening to the news and up to date
Mhm.
regarding um, the debt forgiveness and all of those plans that the Biden administration is offering and suggesting. I personally went to college many years ago, not that long, but many years ago, and I had to take out student loans that unfortunately, when I went to school, I didn't have a program such as the Passport to College program to educate me about student loans and what that means and the interest, right? And sometimes how, if you're not careful enough, you'll be taking out loans that you don't really need, or just really indebting yourself to the government, and then having to pay double, triple, sometimes four times what you borrowed. And I believe that when you think about it in those terms, like I believe that there are students that they did go to school and they tried the very best to try and pay for their education. But maybe there was that situation or case where they weren't educated about, like, hey, once you graduate college, you need to get on top of those loans and start paying, because the interest is going to continue to grow. And then you're going to end up paying more money. And so if when that's the case, that sometimes it's almost kind of, I think, lack of information, that they just didn't have all of the information that they needed in order to make the best decisions in regarding to those finances about their about paying for college. But there's also the other side of students that maybe were just being very irresponsible about paying for their college education, and they decided not to pay, right, when they should have been paying, or at least been paying the interest. And so that kind of, I think, right now is creating a bit of a dispute between, people who are being forgiven right now are supposed to be are actually people who are well off, that are, upper middle class, that have gotten a job and are doing well, and the people who have not are the ones who are kind of like helping to pay
Mhm.
for this big debt forgiveness that the uh the administration is offering. So it's a big topic, it's a big conversation. I don't think there's like a right or wrong, but we can point out like what things I agree with and what things I disagree with.
Yeah.
What I believe, though, is that what the federal government should continue to do is really think about, how do we continue to support our first generation to college students, because they
Mhm.
are coming from families and places that, they didn't go to college, they don't have those careers and that income that can really help our students just have an affordable education. And that's what I'm just talking about. It's like, how can we offer our students an affordable way to go to college, or do a post-secondary, degree or program that they could eventually, be able to support themselves and support a family if they get to, if they get married and have their own families. And I think that right now I'm not seeing that in many of the colleges and universities that our students are applying. It's just getting more expensive.
Mhm.
And I don't support that. I support, the government should really think about, all right, we don't want to continue to this debt to grow, then let's do something to try and help and offer our students a cheaper, affordable education, so that they
Yeah.
can be able to compete with the rest of the world.
Yeah, totally. So we don't have a ton of time left, but
Mhm.
this conversation has been wonderful. Um, I was wondering if you could, if you have any other reminders or other topics that you'd like to, or advice that you'd like to really quickly just share, with viewers about where you can find resources to your organization, or any other topics that you'd like to talk about, or anything that you feel like we haven't mentioned or gotten to just quickly?
Well, I would definitely just invite everyone to, they can visit our website where we provide just an overall information about the different ways that we support our students. But we talk about 21st century skills and our own curriculum, and other ways that we're helping them, and really just sharing the victories, the great stories, and that are coming out of the lives of all of the students that we're supporting. I would also say that when it comes to our first generation students, one of the things that they also don't have is just that social network, right? Sometimes it's really hard for them to get out there and to network and to talk to many different kinds of people, which is what many times brings the opportunities and just the different ways that they can step into something that they would never have been able to do if it wasn't for that connection that they had. So I just want to encourage just companies, places out there, corporations, foundations, business owners to look into programs such as ours. The Passport to College at Boston HERC. There's many other programs in Boston that do the same kind of work. And I think that when we come together and we collaborate and we open our doors and even just sit down together and brainstorm and dream about how do we continue to expand and open up more opportunities for our Black and Latino students, I think that that's when you will see true change, because even though we're just one organization, I know that this way too much work to do for one organization to do it alone. But when we come together, it just multiplies, right? And the ideas become greater as well when we have more people joining in. So just think about those things. Think about when I challenge every single person that listens to this. Think about when you were a student yourself and what would be something that you wish someone could have done for you. Or if if you're a business owner, like what can you do? Is there a scholarship maybe that you can create to support the students in your community? Every little thing will help and does make a difference. So that's what I would add on just now for the end, because that's always what we're also looking for, is just collaboration and partnerships with different types of institutions.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. I wish we had more time to talk a little bit more about so many things, but we do have attached to this will go out a little story where people can check that out a little bit more and find out more resources. So thank you so much for talking with us, Carolina, and for being our guest this month for MA Latino News Network. But tune in next month for another episode, and follow us on Twitter at MA Latino News and Instagram at MA_Latino News. I'm Tomas Gonzalez, and with MALN Opinion Plus, see you next time.